It was a Friday morning, just like any other Friday in Jerusalem. Early in the morning, my friends and I were going to the market to buy food for our mothers. We were having a great time, laughing and joking, talking about school and about teacher. Friday is usually busy, but this Friday seemed different. There were many more people than usual around, and the adults were huddled in groups, whispering and talking and arguing. We got close to one group to try to find out what all the fuss was about. We heard them say that there had been an arrest in the town the night before and that the trial was to be held that day. We wondered who had been arrested and crept closer to listen. We were so sad to hear that it was Jesus, the new teacher from Nazareth, who was under arrest. How could they have arrested him? All of the children in our town loved Jesus so much because he was so kind to us. He was the kindest and most gentle person we had ever met. He often told us lovely stories. He always had time for us, time to listen to our news and to our stories. But we also knew that many people in Jerusalem hated Jesus because they saw that Jesus showed love to everyone. They had heard that he made sad people happy, made sick people well, made bad people good, and even made dead people alive again. They were afraid if Jesus became powerful, they would lose their power in their big jobs. We discovered that some people in our town planned to get rid of Jesus. He was now under arrest, and they were going to make up bad stories about him to tell Pilate, the Roman governor. If Pilate believed those stories, he could sentence Jesus, our friend, to be killed. We were so upset. Some of us started to cry, but we decided we would go to Pilate's palace to see if we could do anything for Jesus.
The first station, Jesus is condemned to death. There is Jesus now standing quietly and calmly before Pilate. He is bruised and bleeding from beatings. They have made a crown of thorns and put it on his head. Pilate wants to please the people, so he believes their false stories about Jesus. He orders that Jesus be crucified. Oh, poor Jesus, how can they do this to you? You who are so gentle and kind to us all. How can you be so calm and so quiet when they spread untrue stories about you? Why do you not shout out, "No, I am innocent. Stop hurting me"? Dear Jesus, please help me never to make fun of anyone or to call people names. Make me kind and loving to all.
The second station, Jesus takes up his cross. Now the soldiers make Jesus carry a big, heavy cross through the streets. The cross looks so big and heavy. Jesus looks so tired and weak. Each one of us has our cross to carry. We each have our problems, big and small. Dear Jesus, help me to carry my cross. Help me to study hard in school, to do my homework well, to be helpful and good for my mom and dad and teacher.
The third station, Jesus falls the first time. Oh no, the cross is too heavy for Jesus. He has fallen to the ground. Look, he is dragging himself to his feet and continuing on his way. Dear Jesus, help me be patient with everyone. When my own cross gets heavy, help me not to give up easily, but to struggle on.
The fourth station. Jesus meets his mother. Now Mary, Jesus' mother, pushes herself to the front of the crowd and meets her son, Jesus. How can she cope, knowing her son is in such pain and will soon have a terrible death? Dear Jesus, help us always to be a comfort to our own mothers, as you comforted your mother on that Friday. They love us so much, and their thoughts and prayers are always for their children.
The fifth station, Simon helps Jesus carry his cross. The soldiers notice that Jesus is too exhausted to go on, so they force a man called Simon to help Jesus carry his cross. Dear Jesus, help me always be willing to help others who are in need. I do not want to be selfish. Help me to show love and compassion to everyone. The sixth station. Veronica wipes the face of Jesus. Look, I see our neighbor Veronica wiping the face of Jesus with a cloth. His kind, loving face is covered with sweat and blood. Where did she get the courage to rush past the soldiers and act in such a kind manner? The soldiers are very angry with her, but Jesus smiles and thanks her. The image of his face stays on the cloth as a reminder of what Jesus suffered. Dear Jesus, help me to be kind like Veronica. Teach me to show love and kindness to others always.
The seventh station, Jesus falls the second time. Jesus is so tired that he falls again under the weight of the heavy cross. He is bruised and bleeding, and the soldiers whip him to hurry him along. Dear Jesus, help me to be strong and determined when nothing seems to be going right for me. When I am not doing well in school, help me to keep on trying and do my best to improve. Please don't let me give up.
The eighth station. Jesus speaks to the woman of Jerusalem. I see my mother and some of the other women crying and feeling so sorry for Jesus. They loved him very much. As he passes them, Jesus speaks to them even though he is very tired and weak. He asks them not to cry for him, and they seem to be comforted by his words. Dear Jesus, help me to be comfort to others when they are suffering. Teach me not to think of my own troubles, but to reach out and help my family and friends.
The ninth station. Jesus falls the third time. By now, Jesus is absolutely exhausted. He has come to the hill where he will be crucified, and as he carries the cross up the hill, he falls the third time. I'm sure he feels that he can't go on anymore. Dear Jesus, give me the courage and strength to go on when I'm not doing well in school or at home.
The 10th station. Jesus is stripped of his clothes. The soldier now roughly tear Jesus' clothes from his battered, bloody body. He looks so weak and frail. Poor Jesus, they have taken your clothes away, but they have not taken away your great love for us. You continue to show us love even when we have abandoned you. Help us to never abandon you again, but to love you always.
The 11th station. Jesus is nailed to the cross. Oh, the agony Jesus is in as the soldiers nail his hands and feet to the heavy cross. I cannot bear to look at the pain on Jesus' face, but still he asks his Father in heaven to forgive the soldiers. Is there no end to this man's compassion and love and forgiveness? Dear Jesus, help me to love and forgive my family and friends, even when they hurt me. Teach me not to bear grudges and have enemies, but to forgive and forget.
The 12th station. Jesus dies on the cross. After 3 long hours on the cross, Jesus dies. Darkness settles over the land, even though it is only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The earth trembles, and we are all afraid. I am so sad to see Jesus dead on the cross. Dear Jesus, I know you have died on the cross. Today you show me how much you love me. You died to save me. I do not deserve all this love, yet I know that you will love me always. The 13th station. Jesus is taken down from the cross. The body of Jesus is taken down from the cross. His heartbroken mother, Mary, holds him in her arms and cries. It is so sad to watch her holding the limp body of her own son. Dear Jesus, help me to be a comfort to others when they are sad. Help me to console my mother and my friends when they are upset.
Fourteenth station. Jesus is laid in the tomb. A kind neighbor called Joseph offers a tomb for Jesus' body. With great love and sadness, his body is wrapped in a clean sheet and laid in the tomb. His tomb is in a small garden. A big stone blocks the opening of the tomb. The soldiers are ordered to stand guard over the tomb in case someone tries to steal Jesus' body.
Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Were you there when they nailed him to the tree? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when they pierced him in the side? Were you there when they pierced him in the side? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when they pierced him in the side? Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were you there when the sun refused to shine? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Were you there when they laid him in the tomb? Oh, sometimes it causes me to tremble, tremble, tremble. Were
Later, we were to discover that this was not the end of Jesus' story, only the beginning. On Sunday morning, when friends went to Jesus' tomb to pray, they found it empty. The stone had been rolled away, and an angel told them that Jesus was no longer dead. He was alive. They could not believe the news. They were so happy, and so are we.